3 more to go in the FNCS Solo Invitational. It's time to see how this goes because we really just had a season of exciting games leading up to this. Every single weekend has been intense, but now we're getting down to the final moments. We got 3 to go, and it is still Janice on top. He's holding on.
Janice on top. I mean, I mentioned before during the little show right there that he holds the record for most top 10 finishes in grand finals across all regions. And look, we talked about getting zone, and dear Lord, Aqua, no doubt, is smiling right now looking at that first reveal. He's all the way up the north, and he has almost close to center, but now we're dropping down all the way to the south of the map here, and Blackie on the middle of the pack right now, try to become the leader of the pack a little bit. That's a long way to go, but you cannot count it. We always seen stranger things here in Fortnite. Anything could happen, and right now, Blackie's trying to make it happen, and this might be definitely Martine. This is the second fight here, different bout, a big crack, and it was Martine, and this is what we're talking about, Bala. You talked about the early engagements, the first POI engagements, the first safe house engagements, so important because right there, twice in a row, Martine's ride has been over.
And that's the momentum that unfortunately stopped by the hands of Blackie. He makes that work. Swoop on over to other portions of the map. Vortex near the agency, in between risky reels, and he's got himself a really nice loadout to start things off. And that actually might be enough for him to decide he wants to W key into the agency for the early game fight that's still happening over there, but no, he's going to stay safe, stay consistent, and stay on the side of the map. Basically just looking for opportunities, but also looking for fishing holes. There's so many here, and you talked about a reason for Aqua's success is being up north there, making it easy for him to get so much fish, so much loot, and that's... And this is another spot where it's just so good, but 94 players up, Sancho. If you're wondering, it took maybe a little longer to get into that game because how we watch these with the replay system, it actually goes off of when the elims happen. They pop up and you can start to watch. But in this case, everybody playing so passive, and this is peculiar when you think of grand finals and how they've gone in the past. It's been completely opposite. Players starting to get a little bit more desperate in playing in that direction. But no, this time, we're seeing bloom fights on the side. 94 players up. This one's definitely going to go to its completion. Maybe the only one in the map. Nice comb from Vortex. And still trying to pressure this wall.
Vortex. Nice. Oh, my goodness. A little like a flip of the stairs right there, Bala, and gets that elim. Vortex sitting on the upper side of the bracket now. He's making his way up, up, and up. As we see Wolfie's, this is Wolfie's, I don't know, he's always felt like he has almost a free drop here. Riggs is almost split. Now he has an engagement. We did see Martine go down. Could Wolfie's go down here early here, Bala?
Yeah, he could, especially with that heavy snipe in the box. It's eye drop, by the way, which I don't believe was dropping here on day 1. I think it was only Kaiser in this case, so Wolfie's having to deal with a little bit of a switch up, no materials now. He has to work with this. He has to make this happen, and no, he doesn't.
My.
Eye drop. Will definitely make that work, and now Wolfies is going to be sitting in the lobby for quite some time, wondering how he can make sure that this fight at the rig is going to go slightly different, or maybe switch things up, because he's only got 2 games left. I talk about 3 games left. Wolfies is out, and he can't even close the gap between Janice or Aqua in this game.
And this is the continuation here of those early engagements. Now it's Anas here who's on the back foot. Wolfie went down. Anas, number 5 here on the leaderboard, could go down early. So we're going to see a shakeup. And there it is. The shakeup has begun here, Bala. Frenzy finally beating Anas here. And what a bad opportunity for Anas to go down to Frenzy.
That was literally in 2 fights. We see the 3rd place and the 5th place go down. And this is something that you talk about when the community is talking about, getting a spot on contested. This is the risk you run, because now you don't have this opportunity in this entire game to earn any points. Frenzy Fishy has lost that fight against Anas most of the time they've engaged. I mean, we've seen it on this broadcast at least 5 or 6 times over the games that we've watched, and every single time Anas has come out on top. This time, though, one time, that could be the most consequential time.
Yes.
Anas falls. And now he has to wait, just like Wolfie's in the lobby, to see what Janice, Tayssir, Aqua are going to do to continue to rise that gap.
Yeah, I mean, the last game, the top 4 stayed alive almost to the end of the ride here. as Savage is riding out, vibing out with the Travis Scott. Gets a couple of hits right there. The 125, he's been kind of flip-flopping from 11th place to 18th place, back to 11th place as Drop picks up another elim. Drop may be catching fire here in a moment here as Savage is moving up the natural high ground, sees this opportunity. These are the opportune times. You never know, that could result in a 4-point right there. And the reason why we say it's a freebie is because not a lot of resources are being used besides the ammo. So Savage is looking really great with the kit, has the harpoon, and now he's sneaking up here looking for a third-party opportunity. Gets a couple of white tags. I don't think he'll pad in here, but he might. Ooh, he almost got that elim, and he got yoinked from him, and now Savage is going to draw some attention here from that low ground on the right side there, Bala.
Look how the actual momentum has shifted in terms of aggressive plays.
Right.
From the early game, it was a lot more passive. It was players making sure that they get their drop, you know, and not really going to one chest or another. No way. And that was the player who was actually fighting him at the yacht yesterday and throughout week 2. This time, Red Rush at a different spot. Mr. Savage, unfortunately, falls in the same path, and a heavy snipe from that Craggy Cliffs Research Center will make Mr. Savage pay, and another player falls who is really trying to push their way up.
The ripples of these elims are coming tsunamis on the leaderboard as Leshy picks up another one on Fanta. Fanta going down to Leshy. Leshy's going to might get a 2-piece here. This is Leshy's opportunity to move up on the board. He is at 12th place right before this match. So now Leshy looking in hot, gonna get the opportunity, get the high. Right now gonna poke right on in, just almost gets right in. Now he's going to go ahead and move around here. He has great time. He has all the resources in the world to hold on to. But the third party here, Bala, is sniffing right now. Lechy, is he going to go down like the others did in early game? We already saw Anas go down. We already saw Wolfies go down. And it's Benji here contesting this fight.
Oh my goodness. So many big names. And Lechy immediately, as the third party comes in, tries to back off, but Benji doesn't let go because Lechy building in this wood, that's a sign of weakness for Benji to drop right in. And for somebody like Lechy, who we just saw Mr. Savage go down, they were right next to each other on the leaderboard, so he has the opportunity to actually overtake in that case. Thankfully, now that Lechy has that brick base, the metal base, Benji will opt to back off and try to just farm up on that bridge. But the rest of the lobby a little bit more quiet. Airwax in the distance. Vortex, who we saw earlier, have that epic tac shotgun right next to Mage. It definitely could be a box dive in the making. Ensar continues to get early eliminations, but I don't quite see him yet pushing up into that top 20. So he has to capitalize on those and really make it either a lot of elims or push up into those placement points. Alon in the distance. All quiet right now. And this is very, very much, exactly what we tend to see in these later games. And Vortex is actually going to get on top of Mage in the cone right next to him. And I think Vortex knows. Yes, he pickaxed it just to get that visibility, and he's going to dive on it. This is Mage with the drum gun. Got to be so careful with your Vortex. Nice shot through the stairs. He just box out. He still has control of this wall. Yes! Now that is what I talk about when I say piece control. Trapping Mage in the box on the backside. Grabbing every extra wall when it breaks. Well done there from Mage. And I think I just heard the grappler come nearby him or right around him. I'm definitely worried now if that grappler shows his position. The lobby tends to drop right on top of it.
Now it's Putrick who's worried right now for Lechy knocking on the roof. Very aggressively trying to find a way in, poking and prodding. It's the footsies games of Fortnite. And that is a big-time strike, 140. It's a matter of time here as Lechy now is going to be uber aggressive here, going Ultra Instinct now, trying to get inside of this box. Bang! Big hits right there on Putrick, and down he goes. Actually, that's Swaggy. Swaggy goes down by Lechy.
So Lechy does solidify the gap over Mr. Savage with that one elim. They were tied before that, so now Lechy takes the lead. So he pushes himself up to 11th place. There's Putrick in the distance. That's a mobile player, yep. Mitra lurking nearby. You got to be careful. He does get the advantage on that one. The favorite one in his way with that AR. He does have the grappler, so it definitely was just hearing things back before. Mitro in that first game, he got that third place. And now trying to really push up. Another one there. Nice walls on the side. Almost gets it all. And oh my goodness, that is such a difficult shot down below and underneath. He pounces quickly and takes out Lucia.
Benji goes down in the Elam feed. Benji looking for an opportunity to climb up, losing the amount of games to do so. We're about the halfway point here of the grand finals of the EU region here. FNCS solos, and Mitro has a great opportunity to grapple himself up their leaderboard right now. He's at 25th place, and knowing that the top of the board is already out of this match is going to be a strong opportunity. But Lecce is a lot closer to get into that top 5 situation, and I think Lecce knows it. Looking at that Elam feed, he's going to put Glory right back out of the server here. It is looking really good for Lecce, and the recipes for success are really high for this player here, Bala.
That was just disgusting from Lecce. He reads his opponent perfectly where he's going to go, and if you want to push up, if you want to catch up to that first spot, he's doing what he needs to do. He needs to get elims not only in the mid game and in the end game. But for Lecce, it's been that placement that's kind of faltered for him because of how aggressive he is. He's kind of actually switched spots with his former duo partner of Wolfies in terms of like who plays aggressive, who plays passive, because
right.
Lecce throughout his qualification for World Cup, it was end game eliminations that really put him up there in the best players in the world. So we'll see. He has to definitely shift a little bit more towards placement, but with the standings how they are, with being in 11th place, he's got a lot to work at to catch up to that top spot, but still could work against Wolfies and Aqua, who's still sitting in 2nd and 3rd.
Cammy coming in at 9th right now before this match. Only picked up 1 point so far in this one. He's going to look for another opportunity there. Almost hits. We've been seeing some nasty, heavy sniper shots here in the broadcast. Saw one yesterday on left eye. This is an insane far shot here. And the heavy sniper, a lot of the players, for those of you just tuning in, never seen its use, is also a utility item for a lot of one. You could kind of get inside the box very aggressively. You could surprise somebody. You could catch someone in the heels. You could catch someone looking at their blueprints. And Cammy right now is trying to catch somebody using this corn peak right now and maybe get an openly dink into this engagement now. But man, corn fighters are the most dangerous fighters, I always say. Much more dangerous than bush fighters. Yeah! And the big 126 blue hit, and Cammy from the corn gets the job done. And now everyone says, wait a minute, there's someone out there fighting. I'm going to go ahead and try to get my freebie shots in. And Cammy now playing some defense, switches over to the hard mats, extends a little bit here. And now I'm going to safely med back up in the metal. But that was a nice hit with that heavy sniper there, Bala.
But he loses the opportunity to actually get the load out there. Speaking of Aqua, who's sitting in 2nd place right now. Did get that 1 placement point, so now 208 for him. This is what he does. He consistently gets on top of bases, and oh my goodness, instantly responds against Jachu. Great awareness for Aqua, knowing that and hearing that Jachu is running up the stairs. Perfectly plays that, but what I was going to say is that in this 3rd zone, he always tries to base up high over somebody on a mountain if he can. Because then, if the zone falls in his way, he has that opportunity to hold on to the high ground if he needs to. Obviously, if the zone doesn't go in his way, maybe he invested a little bit too much on this, but he just got an impact right on high ground, so he really doesn't have to worry about materials at all unless Jachu had nothing.
No doubt Aqua is one of the kings of the high ground. Lecce, partner of Wolfies, is trying to make his way up the board so close, and now he has Frenzy, who ruined the run of Anas a little bit earlier ago, trying to do the same thing, be the spoiler that it is. Lecce has some fire behind him, so he's going to try to do his best to drop it a little bit with the layer switch. And now he's just waiting to see what's going to happen here, looking for information. The information is needed that he has the player up there weak, but he has to protect from the 3rd party, and the 4th party is raining in. Bala, a lot of shots are raining in right now, and almost going down, but Lecce now gets the slow side of it, so he's not going to get any more bullets from the fight. Now he's going to focus laser in on Frenzy, who has been disturbing his piece.
And it's funny you talk about Anas actually falling to Frenzy. And I don't think we've seen Frenzy actually make it out towards the early game this time. Obviously trying to make up for lost time in this. And he goes on the path where Lecce possibly didn't expect him. You saw Lecce wasn't necessarily playing aggressive on this one as the 4th zone gets revealed. But then he does go back right into his metal base. And yes, now it's going to be hard for Frenzy to actually break into this, but he's not letting go.
Frenzy is just kind of trying to cause a frenzy on this leaderboard, this shakeup. We're talking about someone down at 89th place. But hey, everybody in this tournament is dangerous, and they have to be respected. And even though you may not have a solid run, you're still one of the top 100 players solo in your region. And Frenzy's going to say, I have the same skills as Lecce. And now Lecce, as the 50-50 goes between the two. But Lecce has the power and the will to survive and gets Frenzy right out of this lobby.
And it was fourth zone revealed in the time that fight was going on. Aqua did not get it, so that investment that he made may be a little too much. He's now going to have to redo that entire fight for that high ground, and he is going to come in on that north side a little bit. So everybody else making their way in the airwalks. Marcus with a little bit of an elevated position. Here's Mitro, who can always yoink high ground if he needs to, but showing off that he has the grappler so early right here in this fourth zone. Yes, he gets on top of somebody, but that also might be the cue for Amplify to start box fighting him.
Mitro now taking a look at the low. Aqua does go down, so that change in position, that early gamble on the high ground, and as he was moving, he gets bopped. So now there's going to be a shake-up a little bit lower. We haven't seen, is Janice most likely still running around, so he could grow his lead. We're talking about a major lead, about 20 points or so. Mitro now racking up a lot of points as well, does not have to worry about Storm Surge. Now he's just focusing, looking for people who are weak in the builds right there, and Kenzel goes down from Mitro. Every fresh build is an opportunity for Mitro to get an elim, and he's looking at any of those people who are trying to get those free rotations where they're not expending any kind of builds right now. So Mitro has a strong opportunity, investing early on the high ground, and it's paying off for him. Bala picking up another elim. That's 4 for the match.
And you pointed it out perfectly, looking for the fresh builds, looking for the reset edits where the builds are going to be very low HP so that AR can chew through them and instantly get it. Elims after Elim, so Mitro setting up on high ground. He does not get zone though, so Lecce is the one who's going to win that. And with an Elim here, not too far away for Lecce, he's going to sit on a lot of materials, but he's not going to go all the way up. Just sets up that base for going up a little later so that it's fully built when the time comes. He's still getting aggressive. He's still looking for this. Yes, it's not his wall. He gets the cone in too, and yes, takes out Artur. Perfectly played, and he gains a launch pad from that one. And not only that, but more mats to build out a base. There's still not anybody really here. He throws up extra heals if he needs to. Possibly even take a RPG there off that body. What he's doing right now is trying to shuffle all the mats, all the items from down below up above so that he can have easier access to them if he wants to continue to build up and really take advantage of this fifth zone position, because as you see, players are going to have to launch from the other side. Mitro now taking advantage of that. No launch pad for him though. Takes out Flick of the Sky. Can he get another flick of the wrist to find somebody else? No, it's the grapple time. Just trying to get in the zone.
Trying to get in the zone. He has to be careful. Usually if you're using the grapple out here out in the open, it makes everybody look up and you could get beamed out of the air. As you can see, you are vulnerable, but a nice connection for Mitro, and he's at height, and he's going to turn around, look into the back of the circle here, and get a couple of shots in as the storm is pushing people towards him. Fresh builds is the green light, and beams are coming out from Mitro. Mitro has a great kit here as well, Bala. Doesn't have a lot of builds, so no doubt looking for that refresh, but he does have the RPG rocket launcher to shoot down anybody if they're going to contest his height, but no doubt that grappler is that kind of that X factor, the problem solver for a lot of these situations, and in the hands of Mitro is going to be very easy as we see that Airwax got eliminated at 49th.
Got it.
So a lot of shakeups on the board here, and Mitro, I think he has a prime opportunity to take advantage of that shakeup.
Yeah, Mitro has this. He's got the height really well structured here, and with the grappler, this is so easy to hold on. He also pulls the 6th zone right behind him as Lecce picks up another one down below in another box fight. Lecce is not stopping with the 6 elims he has, and again, getting the player coming into his box, inviting him and accepting him. With this epic pump, he's making it really happen, and he also has the mythic heavy AR. 39 players left now, and he also has zone. He also has this pulling a little bit farther north. Lecce, a big opportunity here to rise the ranks, because already he started this game at 120-ish, and he's at 147, so 20-plus points accrued in just one game so far, and it's not even over. Another one onto Frey.
Another one, Lecce. We're talking about the 32nd place of the World Cup solos. 3rd place at DreamHack. This is a guy that's been heating up, and as time goes on, and he finished 4th place at the qualifiers here, Bala.
Janice still up in this game too, and obviously Mitro still holding on to height, but Janice trying to push up, and Tayssir actually lands right next to him as well. He does have to fall because he gets pumped hard, but I believe from Tayssir, so it's going to be Tayssir almost on high ground. Mitro, where is he at? I think still grappling above these players. Janice going to try to pop the med kit. That's huge. Top 28 right now. If he gets his health back, that's a lot more time that he has to work around zone plays. And Alex picking up another one too, trying to work his way up. There's a launch pad way down. He takes the risk to go for it. Yes, another pad, another ride towards more placement.
This is so scary, and he's going to go ahead and build on this tarp here. He's not looking good in the material department, does not have a lot of hard mats, so he's going to look for that refresh, and someone sees that he's not looking good. Building out of wood, you said so before, if you see someone build out of wood, that is a green light. He has to be very careful here. Now he's only has 3 builds. This is our first place right now in shambles, but can his experience and his skill set get him that impact elimination that he so desperately needs?
That he does. Only 3 builds. There's a player in this box. Yes, he gets one, and that's Tayssir, his dual partner. Takes him right out and does get a couple extra mats, but now has to work through brick and metal. Can he actually pickaxe through all that med kit that he just took? Saved his life right there. That 70 health had so many ticks, now down to 10. He still has shield, but no, goes down to Droban. I saw Mitro still in the game. Possibly Lecce too. I'm also seeing Andalex popping up a couple times. There it is, Lecce down on mid-ground. And Vortex is the one on height, but Mitro is going to contest with the grappler.
Mitro is on the high, and Lecce is very close to it. He does have a good amount of builds to take height, but I have no doubt looking for a refresh. He's going to have to use the old school tactics of cranking to do it. So Lecce right now, only 4 builds to his name. Has a nice layer. Now looking down below for some hits with these edits. Now he has the opportunity. He does see it. He's going to take a good hit on the back foot here, Bala.
This is where Lecce shines, these deep endgame situations, these shambles positions, the ways that he plays them, the tactics, the ingenuity that he goes through, the creativity. You remember his double trap to qualify the last 3 players in the game to qualify for World Cup. Lecce is a monster in these situations just like this, and with 8 eliminations, he still could rise way, way up.
He is looking for it, hunting for it. Lecce is going to have to do this like a low-ground warrior, just jumping between other enemy builds, so he has to keep his head on his swivel. As the grapple goes off, he knows that that's what he wants right now, considering he doesn't have any builds. Cartoon goes down to Lecce. It's a top 3 situation. Grappler still... Oh, actually, Lecce picks up the grappler. So Mitro did go down. Now it's Lecce's world. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have that many builds. He has to just navigate and grapple his way up. Batman to height, and he gets bopped right there by Skagen, who plays the Joker to his ride.
And now who's the last player? Skagen with 3 eliminations. It's Fortnite who's in this one. We've seen him a couple times in towards the end game. And now a 1 versus 1 for this one in game number 4. To make their stake known, to make it so that they have a chance. And he's got the drum gun against the grappler up on height. Fortnite trying to rise up. And it is going to be this final 1v1. Blocks out a little bit, but then the piece control. He gets the edit, gets the wall. Also the cone. He still has mats to build fight this, and he gets on top. But no heals here, so it's not necessarily a full heal off. No! What just happened? Fortnite runs out of materials at the final second. I don't know if he just forgot to place the cone or what happened, but all of a sudden the blunder, and he falls, loses the 1 versus 1 against Skagen.